How's it going, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my favorite DFS players for March or April 3rd, my bad, April 3rd, 2018. And these are both for FanDuel and Draftkings. These are just the players I think are going to do best overall in the whole DFS scene. So if you are wondering what tool this is, by the way, I will have a link in the description. It is called Draft Dashboard. It costs $25 per month, but you can try it for 7 days for just $1. And this is literally the only tool I use to win so many games. So this has literally been like a saving grace for my DFS play. It tells you everything you need to know, all the statistics you need to know, what players they think are going to play well. It's a very cool tool, and I really do recommend you go hit that link in the description and check it out for yourself, see how you like it, play around with it, and see, if it creates winning lineups for you or not. I know for me, it has created so many winning lineups, so I'm very grateful, for this tool. So we're going to get into the first player. So I like Russell Westbrook. Now I know he's, pretty expensive, but the thing I like about this tool is it shows their value. So what's important about their value is that, yes, he's expensive, but he's going to get a lot of points. From here, you can see he's projected 52.7 points. So he's projected at about a 4.51 value. And on this platform, I'd say anybody about above a 4.3 or 4.4 is a pretty good play. As well as his last 3 games, he's been pretty solid. He had a nice 70-point game in there, and he's gotten a lot of minutes. Obviously, he's Russell Westbrook. He's been hot the past couple of games. He didn't play a ton, but 36 minutes out of 40 is, still a good amount, or not 40, but 36 is still a pretty decent amount, and he still played well. As well as it shows you the pace. So their pace is kind of medium, which is very important to look at because, you can see how much they're projected to score and stuff. But, I think he's going to do fine even if the pace is just medium. He's healthy. It's a home game. And they have him ranked really high just because, his opponent at his position is 13th, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. And then the whole defense is, about midway through the pack. And it's just Russell Westbrook, so he's going to do good. He's good in good competition, so he's playing one of the best teams in the NBA. He's going to come out and do his best. So Russell Westbrook is a very good play. He's got a season value of 217, which is pretty good value. So I think he's going to have a good game, and he's going to be definitely a good lock for some of, those, GPP games where, you can easily hit the top 50%, and he's going to be one of those big guys you want. As well as you could put him in some cash. He just is a more expensive option. But next we have Rudy Gay, who they have the best ranked player to play on Tuesday night. They have at a 5.15 value, which is crazy. He's done decent the past 3 games, especially the last game, 34 points. His minutes are a little bit lower than I would like, but he's making good use of those minutes, which is good to note. A reason they have him ranked so well is, the defense he's playing against is awful. San Antonio, they're not going to do that well against him. So it should be very interesting. And yeah, so he has a season value of 184, which is a bit less than Russell, but in this matchup, they have him projected to do really well. 21.1 points isn't a ton, but for the amount you're spending, this is a great GPP play, one of those value guys you can get, so then you can spend up later on. So this guy is a must. He's right now the backup, but he should see some good minutes, and he doesn't have good defenders, so he should do very well in this matchup. So I would definitely lock Rudy Gay in to your lineups. The next guy we got is Damian Lillard. He's playing against Dallas. They're all right. They're about halfway through the pack, as you can see here. His value is a little bit lower, so I would take Russell over him, but he's a good, backup if you don't want to go with Russell and you want to go a little bit of a cheaper option. He gets pretty similar minutes to Russell, maybe a little bit less, as well as less points, but you are also spending $2,000 less. So you got to decide, whether you want to go for the more expensive or the little bit cheaper. But I think they're both going to be good plays. He's had a good season value, 223 per point, so a little bit better than Russell, actually. So he is a good value play. He's projected 40-plus points, which is always good. If you can get a 40-plus point game, you're going to do all right. So Damian Lillard, I wouldn't lock him in for sure, but he's definitely a guy to look at. Next, we got Pau Gasol. He's looking to have a real good matchup. His value's pretty low, which is weird because they rank him really high, but I think he's going to do very well in this game. His minutes haven't been great, kind of inconsistent, but as you can see, he's scoring pretty well, averaging 27 fantasy points per game, doing pretty well for himself. The defense he's playing against isn't very good, so I think he's going to come out. He's going to have a good showing against an all right, defense. So Pau Gasol is another pretty good value guy. If you don't want to spend a ton at center, Pau Gasol is a good guy to have, so you can spend up, at other positions. So I wouldn't necessarily lock him in, but I think he's definitely a pretty good play. You could definitely throw him in some of your lineups. Next guy is Miles Turner. They also have him rated at 100. He's got a very high season value, and for the amount he's projected, he doesn't cost that much. He's got a very high value. His minutes are up there right around 30 minutes per game, which is solid, and he's scoring pretty well. He's been kind of hot, kind of inconsistent, but he should look to do well against a Denver defense that isn't amazing. As you can see right here, the defensive rank is 20 and the opponent is 21. So Miles Turner's looking to have a big game. He's starting, projected 31 plus points. He's got a very good value, so I would definitely lock him in at center. I would personally play him over Pau Gasol, but if you need to save some money at center, you could throw Pau Gasol in. But I think Miles Turner is going to have a big game, and you guys are really going to miss out if you don't play him. So I definitely put him at least in some of your lineups, because I think he's going to have a really good game, and the software says that as well. So I completely agree with them on that. So that should be very cool, as well as his percentage isn't too high. So another thing to note. And the next guy is Paul George, playing against a good team, and the defense is all right. But he's got a good value, 4.55, just a little bit above Russell. He's projected 36.9 points. I think he can definitely hit 40 plus. So definitely look for that. He's definitely got potential to do that, as you can see here with 48 and then 52. His minutes are great. He's getting a ton of minutes, tied for the most on the board here. So that is very cool, as well as for being such a well-known player, his usage isn't insane. You can see right here, only got 17% usage. In the other two games, he's been under 30%. So that is definitely something to note. He's definitely a good play, pretty safe play. I think he's going to do, fairly decent. He might not go off for a crazy amount of points, but I think you could definitely get 40 to 45, points out of Paul George. So I think he's definitely a safe play if you guys want to put him in some of your lineups at small forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys do your research, check out the software, and I hope some of these guys, you put in your lineup and they do really well. I have high confidence they will, and I will see you guys tomorrow with my next lineup.